How's everybody doing? Today is the first day of metallurgy, introductory to metallurgy. This is an online course. I'm going to go over the syllabus the first day, expectations of the course, things like that. So here we go. Course abbreviation and number WLD 2370 is the metallurgy course. Course title over here with a CRN of 5475. It's not a welding course. I know it has the welding in the beginning. It started out just in the welding program at Jamestown Community College and moved into the Mech Tech program. So don't get confused by the WLD. My name is Brent Harkness. I run the welding program here at Jamestown Community College. My official title, I guess, is Associate Professor and Coordinator of the Welding. My contact information, because this is going on the internet, it's getting recorded on a daily basis. I'm going to put that in Blackboard, so if you're looking for my contact info, this syllabus will also be in Blackboard, so you can download that, and I will fill out the phone and the email. Course location, well, it's online, but if it was offered at the school, it would be at MTI 125. The location of my office is right by the copy machine, MTI 128, if you want to come and take a quiz or a test. Office hours, refer to my office door. Current semester, fall 2020. That being said, with fall 2020, this is where we're having the COVID issues. This is the year for that, I guess. So I'm going to read something here I wrote. COVID year. When I record these videos for the online course, what I'll do is I'll try and do things like attendance, unrelated announcements, and any COVID announcements I'll leave out, because what I have is going on right now is I have an in-class course and an online course. So what I'm going to do is videotape the in-class lectures. So that's what this is right now, in-class lectures. So I have a class sitting in front of me. I'm going to tape it and put it online for the online course. So what I'll do is I'll leave things out like attendance, unrelevant announcements, and anything that has to do with COVID from the videos. I'll do that before, then I'll start the video once the actual lecture starts, okay? So my classes that are in face-to-face mode are Mondays and Wednesdays, okay? So what I'll do is I'll tape the Monday, Wednesday lectures, and then I'll have them on by Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, for instance, Lecture 1, Lecture 2 will be on the website. It's going to be on YouTube, a YouTube channel called TV Weld. I'm going to have courses as one of the, what do they call that? Basically, one of the files will be, say, courses, and you'll go to WLD 2370, Introduction to Metallurgy. And for instance, Lecture 1, Lecture 2 will be on there, and then I usually do a review of the test beforehand. I do it with clickers. It's up on here. I'll record that on there too. So I'll do Lecture 1, Lecture 2, review of Lecture 1 and 2, and then the online people will have to come take the test. Now the test, when you take it, I don't really care when you take it. You can take it when you're coming for another class, but you have to come find me and set up when you're going to take your quizzes. If you have an existing course that you come for and you're going to be here and you're going to show up, early for that to take all your tests, that's fine as long as I'm here. But you have to set up how you're going to take your tests. So let's review again. On the YouTube station, we're going to have Lecture 1, that'll be a video just like this. Lecture 2, video just like this. A review of Lecture 1 and 2, also on video. And then you have to come find me to take your tests. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, email me. When I'm doing these videos, sometimes in the classroom, I cut to like, I don't know, a YouTube video, let's say. Usually when I do that, I just do it during the class. Well, if it's online, what I'm going to do to protect copyright things, because it's somebody's video, they own it, I don't want to break any laws here. So if I do a video in the regular class that's in face-to-face format, what I'll do is in the course description, so for like Lecture 1, I will put video 1, video 2, video 3, etc. if I use those videos in class. And what I'll do is I'll put the site of the video after video 1, and then I'll have the website. So you click it and it'll automatically go to that website, and then you can actually watch the videos that we watch during class just whenever you have the time to do it. That's the benefits of an online course, right? So if I use videos, I will put them in the course description. So like I said, for Lecture 1, in the course description, I would put down there and watch video 1, video 2, whatever we do, and then you click on that link and it'll send you to those videos. Trying to think anything else I got here. So video 1, video 2, that should protect us from any copywriting. Alright, so let's get into the actual syllabus. Get back into it. We already did the top, right? So we're going to scroll down, and all the videos will be in this format. So I'm going to have 2 video cameras going. One's going to be on me, one's going to be on the screen up here, and then I'll shrink it down and put it in the corner, and that's how all the videos will be. So basically, all it is me taping a face-to-face lecture and then putting it on the internet so you can watch it whenever you want. Then you find me to take the tests, okay? Course description. Well, first of all, where is it? Right here. Metallurgy. So what is the definition of metallurgy? The science and study of the behaviors and properties of metals and their extraction from their ores. So we'll go over that one more time. The definition by our book is the science and study of the behaviors and properties of metals and their extraction from their ores. So what does that mean? It means we're going to start out extraction from the ores, right? Because that's what, metal isn't just something you go find, right? Well, it kind of is. It's a rock when you first get it, right? It's an ore. So you got to take that and make it into a usable metal. So we start right with the types of ores, the percentage of iron, things like that. How they take the iron ore and turn it into actual metal. I say iron ore, well, aluminum's an ore as well, right? So all these metals are found in the format of like rocks, and you got to turn it into metal that's usable, right? So we start with that. Properties of metals. So metals have a lot of properties. Some of them are, does heat travel through it? Does it bend? Does it take impact? Things like that. Carbon steels are interesting material because you can go through different phases, all right? And that's one of the main things that metallurgy does. It tells you what's happening atomically, right? So that's basically what metallurgy is. It's not the most exciting, I guess, topic, but it's pretty cool when you get into like crystal microstructures and things like that. So I have the syllabus right here as well as on here. So I'm gonna go down to the course description here. This course provides the student with instruction on the basic properties, characteristics, and production of the major metal families. Coverage features processes for both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. That's a big deal to know the difference between ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Everybody thinks it's magnetism, but that's not exactly what it is. General metal properties, testing, and heat treatments are covered, along with crystal structures in metals, iron, carbon phase diagrams, and isothermic transformation diagrams. Some big words there, right? All right, so let's go back here. Metal properties and testing. So we go over non-destructive testing versus destructive testing, heat treatments. So when somebody welds something, and I know the welding guy, and I say welding a lot, but it's because welding really screws up the metals, right? Machining can screw up the metals a little bit, but welding is a very violent process, and you have things vibrating, and then when all of a sudden it freezes, it's not what the metal really wants, all right? Which can cause a thing called a heat affected zone, or brittleness, or just general weaknesses within the actual metals here. So you got to kind of welding's a very good example of screwing up the microstructure of the actual metals. Crystal structures of metals is what I tend to think of the bread and butter of metallurgy. There's a crystal structure in metals, and when you cut it and polish it and look at it through a microscope, it shows you the different crystal microstructures of different phases of metals. So that's like the bread and butter. Iron, carbon phase diagrams and isothermic transformation diagrams. We'll get into that later. That's more of the advanced part of this actual course. Student learning outcomes. Students who demonstrate understanding can list the differences between ferrous and non-ferrous metals. We just kind of went through that. Everybody thinks it's magnetic versus non-magnetic, and that's not true. That's based on the crystal lattice of the actual metals on why it's ferrous versus non-ferrous. It's basically one has iron based and one is not. Typically, non-ferrous metals are not magnetic. That's why everybody thinks that. But there are some that are magnetic. So you can't say that in every single instance. There's certain stainlesses that are actually magnetic. Ferrous is iron based alloys. So That's ferrous. You ever look at the periodic table of elements and it says Fe for iron, right? Ferrous has iron. Most of the time, ferrous is magnetic, non-ferrous is non-magnetic. That's what everybody thinks, but it's not all the time. So if you come away with anything, know that non-ferrous materials aren't always non-magnetic. So, yeah. Moving on. List specific effects that temperature histories have on ferrous materials. So that's when you heat up ferrous materials, things tend to change. Okay, you go from body center to face center to back to body center and all that stuff. That's a lattice structure that we'll go over later. That's kind of advanced, so we should probably just move on from that. But when you're heating up metals, what you need to understand is you can be messing them up or making them better, depending on what properties you want. So just understanding that as you're heating up metals, things are happening, okay? Let's see, where are we? Students will be able to analyze and list the effects of a series of specific weld operations on both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. We go out there and we weld things together and we cut and etch it. And then you can see the differences in the microstructures between in the weld metal, on the edge of the weld metal, and then back to the base metal. With the online stuff, I will do that and video it, and then anything that I'm talking about in the lab, I will video it, doing it in the lab, and then I will put it in with one of the lecture numbers, okay? So that'd probably be like lecture 6 or something, you know. Topical outline, let's see, so we are here. Lost it, okay. Practical applications and terminology. Material properties, so you see there's where you have your mechanical properties. Oh yeah, I forgot about magnetics, some as far as how good things are to magnetics. Some of them are very strong, some of them are weaker. Electrical, everybody thinks copper is the best conducting metal. Well, it's not. It's just, you know, the cheapest, well, not the cheapest, it's cheaper form. Aluminum would be even cheaper, right? Let me go back up here. I'm getting off the list here. Hardness, mechanical properties, chemical properties, electrical properties, magnetic properties, thermal properties. How does heat travel through metals? Things like that. Ferrous metallurgy, iron and steel, crystal structure, failure and deformation, iron carbon, phase diagrams, microstructure, heat treating, annealing, normalizing, and tempering. So you can take a steel and make it really hard, but you might not want it hard, so then you can anneal it to bring it back, right? That's what annealing, normalizing, and tempering are. They're heat treatments to bring steel to a certain ductility versus hardness, if that makes sense. Non-ferrous metallurgy, aluminum alloys, copper, bronze, and brass, magnesium, zinc, specialty metals. Oh, that's it. And then we're on the second page here. Let's go back to non-ferrous real quick. Aluminum and aluminum alloys. Aluminum is getting used more and more and more because it's light, right? So not just for automobile, I guess you could say. It makes the cars lighter, get better gas mileage, but also even like for shipping things, it's lighter, it's easier to ship, right? Aluminum is very readily available now. It's not like it was 50 years ago. There's recycling going on right now, right? So you're not taking aluminum from a rock, you're taking it from an old, I don't know, grill or something, and you're melting it down and reforming it. It's better for the process of producing aluminum. Copper, bronze, brass, they're very similar. All good electrical conductivity. Magnesium, zinc, specialty metals. Zinc's a big one in manufacturing because it's, you know, galvanization. So zinc's a big one. It's also used as a sacrificial anode for galvanic corrosion and things like that. So if I'm saying things that you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's all stuff we're going to go over. It'll get explained to you later on, so don't worry about it. Okay, textbook required materials, practical metallurgy and materials of industry, 6th edition, ISBN number. Right there it is. I don't use the textbook, so you don't have to get the textbook. I don't even know if they have it available anymore. That's what I used as a guide to doing this course. So I opened up that book and I went right through each chapter to the very end, okay? I don't make you buy the book because I'm trying to save you money, all right? So hopefully, if you want to buy the book, I'm sure you can find it pretty cheap because that's a really old edition. There's not a lot of metallurgy books. I've looked for a new one a couple of times and it was always, I couldn't find a lot. So, grading policy. Let's see here. Grades will be strictly calculated according to the following. This is the same as every course at Jamestown Community College. So you can look that over. You've probably seen that a bunch of times. Attendance policy. This is for in-house people, of course. You get 3 days, miss 4, you get an F. Doctors know a reasonable excuse for every 2 times a student is late, they will receive an absence. So if you're supposed to be here, be here. With the online course, make sure you're doing your tests, right? Keep up with them, all right? You got 1 week to take the test. I forgot to mention that. You have 1 week to take the test after I post the second lecture. I usually do 2 lectures, then a test. So after I post the second lecture, basically you got a week to do the test before it's considered to be late. Late assignment policies, that's basically making up tests because we don't have a lot of assignments in here. Did I miss? Oh, I did. Go back up here to attendance. Let me highlight that. I can't do it. It's a PDF. But attendance, 10%, tests, 90%. We just take tests, like I think there's 10 or 11 tests, and we take them throughout the whole semester, and then that's 90% of your grade. 10% is going to be attendance. For online, it's going to be, did you take the tests on time? Were you, doing your lectures and coming and taking the tests within a week, things like that. With attendance in a regular course, it's just, are you here or not? But yeah, for online, it's going to be, are you taking the tests within the time frame? All right. So that's a free 10% basically. All you gotta do is do what you're supposed to do, and you get 10% of the class, right? So there's no cumulative final. It's just a bunch of tests. So what I do is the format of lecture. I usually type right here on the computer, up on the board here, because my handwriting is atrocious. So I take the notes, I deliver it onto the computer, on the screen, then you write them down, okay? I haven't decided whether I'm going to, for the online course, distribute the notes or not. I can do that if you want. I'm going to talk to some of the students in the course, see what they think, and I can give you the notes, but you should be watching the lectures because we go over more in depth in the actual lectures than just what's on paper. The test consists of no tricks. I don't do ABC, true, false. It's handwritten out answers, and if I put what are 5 advantages of a martensitic microstructure, my test will say, what are 4 advantages of a martensitic microstructure? And you'll have to list 4 advantages. It's straightforward. Whatever I'm spitting out here on the screen, that's what the test is on. There's no tricks or anything. So tests, 90%, attendance, 10%, that's your grade. We went over the attendance policy, which doesn't really matter for you anyways. Late assignment policy is basically, are you taking your tests on time? That gives you your 10%. Look at, where are we at? Blackboard use policy. Students are expected to check Blackboard twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays to obtain online lectures and test guidelines. So on Monday or Wednesday, I'm doing a lecture in here face-to-face with a class. I'm videoing it. You look at it Tuesdays and Thursdays, all right? If we have a quiz or test or whatever you want to call it, I will say that's due within 1 week of the end of this lecture, all right? When I post it. So it's when I post it. So 1 week after I post the next lecture, the last lecture before the test. All right, where are we at? Emergency closing procedures. This is the website that you go to for JCC. I highly suggest you do that because if school is canceled for some reason, which online doesn't really matter as much because you don't have to actually drive in here, but it tells you, the school's canceled for whatever reason. It goes right to your phone. If you have other courses that aren't online, you're going to definitely want to have that on there. I'm going to do emergency closing procedures for myself here in a second. I'll explain that in a minute. Expectations of students. These are the websites for the civility statement. Treat students like you want to be treated, others. Student responsibility statement. You're responsible for your own grades, your own attendance, your own schedule. Academic integrity. Don't cheat, right? Disability and special services. Students who require accommodations to complete the requirements and expectations of this course because of a disability must make their accommodation request to the Accessibility Support Services Office, Don Pool, ADA Coordinator Disability Support Service can be reached at 338-1251 or via donpool@mail.cudjc.edu. Students can also make an appointment with the Accessibility Services Office at the following link. That completes our review of the syllabus. And this will be on Blackboard. You can print it and it'll have my phone number and email on there. I just didn't want to go hang out on YouTube, my phone and email. Even though if somebody really wants to find me, they can find me. So quick review of what's going on for the online course. I have a class on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm going to videotape those classes, and then I'm going to put that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're going to watch it, probably 2 lectures in a row, and then I'm going to say quiz within a week, and you come find me for a quiz. The first thing you need to do is set up when you're going to take your quizzes and with me, okay? So you got to either come see me or call me or email me when you're going to come take the quizzes, and we'll set that up. Alright, so we're going to get rid of this, and then we're going to go to Google Chrome. This is the first time I've done this, so if I'm a little off, it's just because it's the first time I've done this. It's very odd doing it when nobody's here. Nobody's here right now because this is my trial run. So there's a, and I wanted to say an app. It does have an app. So it's called Remind. www.remind.com. That's me. This is my personal way of getting a hold of you, and I can send it to your phone. Okay? You see that up there? Yeah. Alright. So we want to go create a class. So this is going to be WLD 2370 space online. So this is for the online people, okay? I will only message people 13 or older. This program it used to be just for college students, and then now it's gone down all the way into elementary schools. So we are going to create, not affiliated with a school, create this class. So WLD 2370 online, we're going to go add people, in-person instructions. Okay, so what this is, you pull out your phone right now and you're going to send a text message to 81010 with the message at 44K6BC8. Right there on the board if you can see it. 81010, and then the message is at 44K6BC8. It'll then ask you for your name, all right? What this is a system that if I have to get a hold of you personally, like maybe you're not keeping up with your tests or whatever, I'm going to send to John Doe. Actually, I get on the computer and I can send it right to your phone, and it'll say, hey, you need to take this test, all right? If you're missing something, if I have to get a hold of you for whatever reason. It's also, you can send me stuff. It goes to my email. So if you say, hey, I couldn't make the test because my car wouldn't start, it'll send that to me, and I can see that and know you're not coming. You're better off actually emailing me if you can't make it, but this is a way you can do it on your actual phone, not on the computer. I do it on the computer. So I type right here, testing, it'll go to your phone. I can't see your numbers. Other people in the class can't see your telephone numbers. This is a very useful tool that we use here. If I need to find you 3 years from now, because I have a job and you're from Arcade, let's say, and you're the only student I've had in the last 5 years from Arcade, I can type your name in and say, hey, there's a job at wherever in Arcade, and you know, I can get a hold of you right to your phone years from now. So it's a very useful tool. Like I said, it's all anonymous. You can't see others. They can't see you, but this is what you want to do. The number is 81010. That's the number you're texting, and then this is the message right here. If you don't get this done now, that's fine. When you come take a test, I can show you how to do it in person. It's a very useful tool. I can do Emergency, it's better for the face-to-face courses, because if I can't make it to class, I can send it out and it goes to everybody in the class. I'm not making it to class because I'm sick, right? Which is an important thing nowadays, right? Because if you get sick, you don't come to class, right? You really don't now. So it's a tool that I will use quite frequently in the class. So I also, when I do face-to-face courses, I will send them messages like, don't forget there's a quiz tomorrow, especially if it's a Monday class and the quiz is on Monday, and you know the Bills have a big game on Sunday and you're running a little, you know, groggy the next day. I can send you a real quick message saying don't forget about that quiz. With the online, you really don't have an excuse because it's going to be in the lectures that you're supposed to be watching. So if you need help with this, again, we can do that later. So all right, 2370 online, that's all done. That should be about it. Anything I forgot? Like I said, with the face-to-face courses, what I'll do is I'll do the attendance for those, and you know I'll leave out any COVID updates, you know, out of the videos. I'll do that all first, and then I'll turn the video on once we start doing the lecture. So these videos will probably be about an hour long, I would guess. This class goes for an hour and 15 minutes, I think. So that should be it. So today's just go over the syllabus, expectations, get you signed up for the remind. I don't know if I forgot anything, but if I did, I'll put it in the next lecture, I guess. So that should be it. We'll get this up and rolling, and hopefully we'll have a good course here. All right, before I let you go, I just wanted to show you how to get to the videos on YouTube without going through Blackboard. So the first thing you're going to do is go to YouTube, type in my name, Brent Harkness. Then you're going to see this handsome fellow right here. Click on that.
My name is Brent Harkness. I started this.
You're going to want to mute that. That's just the station video. Go to playlists. And you can see Metallurgy, course 2370. View full playlist. It's only going to be the syllabus video at this point, just the first class. You click on the syllabus video.
What we're going to do today is
and there it is.
Metallurgy, introduction to metallurgy.
We mute that. So what I'll do is after I get done with lecture 1 and 2, those will be on there as well. That's how you get to it. You just follow along with the course. And again, if you have any questions, email me or give me a call. All right, that's all I got for you.